So, without any further ado, our first Watertown Community Hall of Fame inductee is Dean Gackstetter. Dean and his wife Artie came to Watertown in 1953 after he served in Bordeaux, France. He worked as a pharmacist at Hager Drug. He eventually opened his own drugstore and a few other stores before retiring, but retirement wasn't very exciting for Dean. So he returned to the business world and spent another 17 years with the First Federal Savings Bank before retiring again. He was the chairman, president, and CEO of First Federal. Dean graduated from Huron High School and received his pharmacy degree from SDSU. He also served in the U.S. Army Medical Service Corps and was an officer in the Army Hospital in France. Dean has been involved with many boards in the community and has served as president of the Prairie Lakes Hospital Foundation, the board of directors of the Watertown Chamber of Commerce, president of the South Dakota Savings Bank League, president of Lutheran Church of Our Redeemer, and is an active member still of the Rotary Service Club. Here to accept Dean's award today and to make a few comments, Dean's son, Gary Gackstetter. Gary?
Load this up. I'm really looking for a teleprompter. You guys from DC can't say anything without a teleprompter. Okay, I brought some. So I'm Gary. We had an interesting discussion last week among two of my brothers, Brother Tim and Brother Todd, and my sister Wendy, really trying to decide who should get to speak today. Well, thank goodness we decided on the best looking, the smartest, and it was unanimous. Wendy would do the speaking. However, she knew I'd have a huge meltdown, and so she gave in. I get to do the talk. Sorry, Tim and Todd, we forgot to tell you. It is such a privilege to be here today as we preserve history and honor excellence. Thank you to the organizers for beginning a tradition of recognizing those who put service before self. So my purpose here today is to just spend about 90 minutes or so talking about 9 it's a decimal thing, okay. I'll cut it down a bit. So I didn't get much information from Dad. He was more interested in talking about Kenny and Clark and Burdett, as well as the countless number of people that he's had a chance to work with and for throughout these many years. So he did tell me that the true honor was really just to be mentioned in the same sentence as those other three guys. So the catalog is thick. So I'll talk a little bit about, I'll just briefly mention a couple of things and highlight his service to the community. So he spent 16 years on the Watertown Military Affairs Committee. Yeah, that's almost a military career. Although this committee spent thousands of hours and hundreds of details, I'd like to mention two big projects that are really the product of all that work. One is the Navy display airplane that's on the road to the airport. I'm sort of hoping for an Air Force plane, but maybe we can work on that later. The military committee is also responsible for bringing the new National Guard Armory, the Readiness Center, to Watertown. So endless Washington and state bureaucracy, multiple administration changes, and many years of frustration, but it's finally come to fruition, and it's up and rolling, and it's a gem for Watertown. In addition to the Military Affairs Committee, Dad remains active on the Redland Arts Center Foundation Board. The Arts Center brings name recognition and countless visitors to Watertown each year. And now one of my favorites. Dad's also on the Bramble Park Zoo Board, one of the premier small zoos in the country. And I can't resist visiting the zoo whenever we come back home. And it draws literally hundreds of visitors to Watertown every month to see a wonderful collection of creatures, and I always have a special place for creatures, housed in state-of-the-art exhibits. So I do have to mention that my mother, Artie Gackstetter, would never say anything, but she feels bad for the underdog. And so she would appreciate your help in making one exhibit a little bit larger if you could. She has a special place in her heart for snakes. So anything you could do to bring more snakes to the zoo, I know she'd appreciate it. Not really. Because I know there were chills that went up her spine just saying the word snake. But I just couldn't resist. So lastly, the Lake Area Technical Institute has been one of Dad's favorite priorities. He's so proud of its growth, its national ranking among vocational and technical schools, and its ability to prepare young people for great careers, from agriculture to nursing to welding and everything in between. The graduates of LATI get great jobs in the community far beyond Watertown. The list is much longer, but my 90 minutes is almost up. We all know whenever someone is recognized for good work, it never really is a solo performance. It's really a team. So Dad would rather recognize everybody on the team instead of himself. Likewise, rarely, but just as important, is a spouse. Almost always a spouse must also sacrifice in many ways. So thank you, Mom, for graciously sharing Dad with Watertown. Because we understand that you also are driven by service before self. And we thank you for that. I'd like to leave you with a quote. Vision without action is daydreaming. Action without vision is a nightmare. Dad, it's clear you have both vision and the ability to make good things happen for Watertown. We are so proud of you, your whole family, including all 10 of your grandchildren. You remain our hero. And for the last 60 years, Watertown is so lucky to have you as one of their most impressive and inspiring ambassadors. Dad, you provided not just a flash, but a lasting glow that allows Watertown to shine as a wonderful community to live in and work in, and we thank you. That concludes my remarks. Please join me in congratulating Dad and all the Watertown Hall of Fame inductees. Congratulations, Dad.